Okay, so let's move into another question here that kind of goes into this idea of all men are like this and all women are like this. How does the idea that is often taught that men are turned on primarily by sight and women by touch affect, and I would add, and harm the sexual relationship? How would you counter this idea?
Well, I would say that anytime that we concretize, make concrete an assumption, we are limiting each other, and we're not curious about each other anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I would say hear that, and so this is a both and answer. And there are neurobiological differences in the brain of men and women. We are 95% the same, but we have some differences. So men do have a larger part of their brain for visual and active stimuli. So for the action and for visual processing.
Okay.
Women have a larger part of their brain for interpersonal processing, so reading faces and emotions, and for language. And so you want to have a conversation with your husband, maybe go for a run with them or sit in the car with them, go do something with them as you have a conversation. There are some differences, but you don't make the assumption that every man is this way or every woman is this way. You want to remain curious with each other. You also have to understand that culture puts women and men in boxes. So women, let's say you've got a woman who has a really high sex drive, higher than her husband. This happens in probably 30 to 40% of the relationships. The woman has a higher sex drive.
It's so great that you share those statistics that you actually know and have seen. That's 30
Yes.
to 40% of women.
Yes. And those women are often feel shamed about that.
Yes.
And they are afraid, especially Christian marriages, they are afraid that if they show that, they're even in the marriages that they are going to be looked at badly. Like, I'm a whore or I'm a something, that I have this stronger drive, right? Because we don't let women be assertive, aggressive, out there, have purpose, voice, all of this, right? We want to make women be a particular way. With men, we don't give space for them to value their tenderness, their softness, their nurturing sides. And yet men have the feminine energies of God. Women have the masculine energies of God. We both have both the image of God within us, which means the fullness of the masculine and feminine energies of God in us. The Hebrew people have been saying that for always. They value the masculine and feminine so much better than when we started forming Christianity. We let go of a lot of that, and we have really sort of bifurcated men and women. And so a lot of the ways that we talk about men is so diminishing of men. And the way we talk about women is so diminishing of women. And we don't have this place of curiosity for each other and say, tell me about you, and how do I make space for the fullness of you, and where has culture and the church diminished you, and how do I make space for that to grow in our relationship?